Today, like I said yesterday, uh, used to be a tote right here. It's like halfway down the hill next to our tree stand, and it was too hard to get in here with the Kubota with the chains on because we have to drive on a paved road. And once you get, 1,200 pounds of sap in the back of that, I just don't like using the chains on pavement. So what we're doing is we're going to add on to this line right here where there used to be a tote, and we're going to go ahead and run it into an existing line that already goes all the way to the bottom of the hill. So to do that, we'll go ahead and cut this off. When you buy these lines, I buy 3/4 inch. This is a 3/4 inch 400-foot roll. So they have them sealed so stuff doesn't get in them. So you have to cut the end off and then lay it down and then just put the two together. I already stuck a splice in there. So you want to make sure that the splice goes in and doesn't end up pushing the splice into the other piece like that one just did. So anyway, that'll hold it for now. I'll have to come back, put some hose clamps on that. I don't want to get it too tight till I know exactly that this is how it's going to go. So you want to kind of plan out your route by looking at the trees. What trees can I get from here to there? So we were kind of looking, but it seems like this is the best way to go. Sometimes it's easier to roll it. I used to just go ahead and pull it out, but then you have all those spirals in it like a phone cord, and you really can't get those out. So now I'm looking and I see that I should be on the other side of that little sapling. I don't know if I can bend it down enough. So this sapling here, I could bend it down and try to get it up over the top, but I think for what I'll do is just leave it here, and then I can attach this to here. That'll kind of help keep the slope to where I want it. It's not far enough down the hill where it actually looks like it's going to have to come back up to go to this tree. You always want to make it so your line is always going downhill. So if there's a spot in your line that's higher, it won't work, because what'll happen is the sap will sit in that line. Overnight it freezes. That's what makes the sap go up and down. It'll freeze in the line, and then it'll take a while for that to thaw out. It probably won't thaw out in time for when the trees start running, so then you get a backup. And then once you fill that line up with sap, if it's froze, it gets really heavy and it'll sag down. So it's best to have it sloped so it'll all run out and not actually freeze inside the line. Kind of like draining your hoses in the winter so they don't freeze. Same type of thing here. You don't want them to freeze. So now I want to go to this tree, but I think I'm going to go around the tree. When I do these type of hoses, it's always better to go around the tree, because if you tie it and you just have one string holding it, when you pull it tight, it's just going to kink your hose. So it's better to let it gradually go around the tree. So now what I'll do, just put it around this tree. That'll keep some tension on it. When it warms up, it'll take that kink out. I mean, it's not real cold today, but it's not real warm either. So now when I tie these, I always try to leave space because the tree's gonna grow. So I don't wrap it directly around the tree. See how it moves like that? So I kind of put the tension on and then wrap it around. I just always tie it to itself, the string. I don't go ahead and tie it to the tree, because like I said, the tree is going to grow and this will actually grow into it. But like this, it's going to have room to like stretch that out and it won't actually grow into the tree. This isn't the line I usually use. I usually use a nylon line. This I won't have to worry about growing into the tree because this stuff doesn't really last a year. That's why I don't use it anymore. I'll have to go ahead and get some of that other line, the nylon, but for now, we're just putting this in. So again, you gotta go ahead and you need to wrap it around your line like that, and then you can tie it. Because now when you pull that, it's gonna pull tighter on that. So it's not, if you just tie a regular loop on that, it's just gonna go ahead and slide on that. So you wanna get it nice and tight. Right there, it almost looks like we're going uphill a little bit. So I'm gonna just drop this on the tree like that and just pull it tight. And go ahead and cut it. So like I said before, I don't directly tie it tight onto the tree. So I'm just gonna come here, tie it onto itself, tie it back onto the hose. That way you have all this space for the tree to grow yet. The other thing with using this kind of twine is the squirrels will chew it up too, so hopefully they're going to leave it alone at least until the season's over. So now this is where the other line ends up, the top of the line for the one that's at the bottom of the hill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to splice into this one, and then we won't need this toed up top anymore. I'm just going to take off. There. So we're gonna leave it like that. There is a little bit of a bow in that, so I might just take a stick like halfway up, jam it in there. It still is gonna end up going down. I still think that's enough of a slope that it's gonna continue all the way across and go down. So I don't think I really have to worry about it. I see this here isn't gonna stay very long. So what I'm gonna do is just put a string on this, pull it from up above, and pull it into that other one. So like I said, if you wrap it around and then tie it, like that. So then when you pull it, it just tightens up over there. And there again, I have room for the tree to grow, so it can still push this string out and it won't grow into the tree. And that should be enough to keep that tight enough until I can get back and get some clamps or wrap that with tape. So now this line's complete. So right now on this line, there's probably over 1,000 feet of hose on here. I'm not sure what the exact number of taps on this line is right now, but we will end up counting them all and we'll have it written down what totes have how many trees going into them. Sometimes I'll look when I'm tapping, maybe I'll go more into that later. If you look up in the tree and you start seeing dead limbs, or even like 1 or 2 dead limbs, I'll skip that tree for a year. I won't tap it because that means there's something, it's being stressed too much. So whether it's in a part of the line that's creating more of a vacuum and is actually pulling the sap out of the tree, you don't want to take too much of the sap. It needs some of it. It's kind of like giving blood.